Welcome to TradersArmy.com, defending your right to build wealth and preserve capital for generations to come.
Yeah, Monday. What's up, everybody? It's Monday. Welcome to the Monday morning edition of the Daily Market Commentary. I'm your host, Chuck Fulkerson. Hope everybody had an absolutely amazing weekend. We're going to do what we do each and every day, looking at the same 10 and 12 futures markets from an educational perspective, identifying both potential breakouts and reversal setups. Now, some of these levels, I'm going to go fairly quickly today because a lot of these levels we covered in our live trade room last night, and those would just kind of be repeating the obvious. So I'm going to go fairly quickly through this. Some of those lines are from last night's live trade room. A real quick announcement on Thursday night, the 18th. So for those of you that are investors or looking on the investment side of things, one of the things that I get people asking about a lot is not just the trading side, but also the investment side. So on Thursday night, the 18th at 7 p.m. Central, we're doing an investor-focused webinar for people that are wondering, okay, what do I do in the fourth quarter? Markets at an all-time high. Where's my line in the sand that if something happens, I should protect myself? This is really not just for traders. This is anybody who has a 401k, anybody who has an IRA. Even if all they want to do is be able to ask better questions of their financial advisor, that's what this session's for. So even if you're not even if you're not a longer term investor, you don't worry as much about it, but you know somebody that is, do me a favor, pass it on. Just go to tradersarmy.com/registration. That's tradersarmy.com/registration to register for the webinar. All right, let's go ahead and dive in. So the S&P this morning, we're up 3. We were, tailing down last night when we were doing the live trade room into this area. So we set this area up as a potential for an entry. Now we put it as a confirmation entry for those people that had not gotten into the position we had originally from last week, a breakout long. So leave a comment down below if you were part of the group that took the breakout to the upside, and if you did, it's moved about 10 points or so since that breakout. It's been a really a decent little mover. Prices are continuing to range higher. We did get a touch into this area before price moved away. And so we are still looking at it as a potential confirmation entry. We looked at it last night and didn't really love the move away, so we made it a confirmation entry. So you may or may not have gotten in this based upon your entry type on this little bit of a pullback, this retest to the breakout point. I'm going to leave this area in. I think that we still may get another shot at this and leave it as a confirmation entry going forward. Next is the NQ. So looking here at the NQ, we have a little 15-minute level identified down here in the NASDAQ. We are seeing our slowing of momentum just slightly. If I look at this on a 4-hour time period, you can see that we have all of these swing highs right here, and then these swing lows are coming together just a little bit. We're seeing a bit of a slowing of momentum on this rising wedge pattern, if you will. So just something worth considering and being aware that there is a slowing of momentum. However, that doesn't mean I'm willing to go short. We don't short the all-time high. We don't tug on Superman's cape. We don't spit on the window. I don't short the all-time high. I need to... If I'm going to be looking to short, I need to wait for price to give me a good breakdown opportunity before I'm going to be willing to take a short. Next, crude oil. So crude oil is still between our levels of both demand and supply. We identified this little 15-minute level last week, left it in, knowing that it's slightly lower probability, switched it to a confirmation entry, and we came close to it. Didn't quite touch it in the overnights before then rallying up from there. So once again, I'm going to leave that in as it is and not really make many changes to that one. And then gold. So gold is, we're getting lower swing highs and higher swing lows. Gold is in a huge triangle pattern, right? I mean, you can clearly see that one right in here. We're getting a triangle pattern in gold. This is typically, oftentimes, going to be a big breakout setup. And so which way we break, well, if I go to a daily chart, which is our much bigger time period, that's really a better picture. that would show that we have a little bit of a bull pennant pattern forming, right? There's the pennant right here. Here's the pole right there, right? So we have a little bit of a bull pennant pattern. So I would say that from the daily chart, our tendency is to break out to the upside, but we could really do any direction on this style of a trade. You can break out either direction. And if we do, we've got a couple of levels down here that make sense. All right, moving forward, looking at our bonds and currency markets. So in our bond markets in the ZN, we have a little bit of a level up above us on a 15-minute chart and an hourly chart. So two levels that price would need to really get to with some decent speed. Remember, we need at least a 2-to-1 reward to risk on the opposing level in order to be willing to take this. And then looking at the Aussie. So in the Aussie, we have two areas here for potential pullbacks on a 15-minute chart. Those are a little bit easier to see. One would be this little bit of basing before a move up, and then there's this one right here. Now, you notice this one's a confirmation entry, and this one's a limit entry. And the reason for that is because I think that the speed candle will be a magnet for price. But I don't want to ignore the good level just above. So if that speed candle truly is a magnet for price, but I still want to be able to have an opportunity to enter into the position, the best way to do is a confirmation followed by a limit entry. Next, in the euro, so we're looking in the euro, and we talked about, if you were super aggressive in the overnight, you could take this little pop above here. It's not really done a whole lot since that pop, but it also hasn't stopped you out. So your 6-candle rule would be in effect. Just keep an eye on this area. I think that this area is a good breakout potential for price to rally a bit higher. Canadian dollar. The Canadian dollar, we are really setting up for a potential breakout to the upside above this area in here. We had a confirmation short that never really came to fruition as we came into the level, and then just based around 6-candle rule came into effect. And when the 6-candle rule comes into effect, oftentimes that turns into a potential breakout to the upside. So let's see what this does. Now, technically, we could break out either direction on this because of this ascending triangle pattern. All right, Great British Pound and Japanese Yen. The pound, we are below most of our quality levels. There are some supply levels here up above us. We've got a higher swing highs, higher swing lows on the 4-hour chart. So it is technically an upward trend. It's an upward trend that's coming to a little bit of resistance, and so we're rolling off of that resistance right now. I think that the better opportunities are going to be longs. I just don't have anything great set up from a long perspective at the moment. So the question would be, do we set up for a breakout somewhere above this region? And then the Japanese yen, we had looked at this one last night, talked about an area of old resistance becoming new support. We came back in and retested that level last night, so it's exactly what we had looked at last evening. That area of old resistance becoming new support worked out really, really well. Got a really nice bounce off of that level. So if you took that one out of the trade room last night, take your stop now and move it to break even. As you were you've already moved about 2-to-1 off of that level. All right. So that's all I've got for today. Remember, tradersarmy.com/registration. Please, everybody, think about some people you can share that with. Anybody who is who's an investor, 401k, they've got IRAs, they want to learn a little bit more about big picture investment opportunities and really how to protect their wealth bucket and their portfolio. If you guys wouldn't mind sharing that, that'd be great. That way we can do our best to help everybody else out there. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Oh, real quick announcement for those of you that are Traders Army subscribers. Our Thursday morning live trade room is being moved to Wednesday morning. So Thursday morning live trade room is being moved to Wednesday morning. We will be making the adjustment on the Traders Army calendar. So that's about all. Hope you guys have a great day. Talk to you soon. See ya.